Hey everyone, this is author Tillery, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press the subscribe button and give this video a like and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. This week's video is talking a little bit about branding as an author. So I started branding in mid 2018 and we're just hitting 2019. I really looked into it a bit. I already knew about branding as I have done it for my other businesses, and I am actually opening a branding company. That's another story for another time. But it is a task, but it is something you should look into doing. And I recommend it before you release your first novel, especially if you are an indie author. It's good to build an audience before you launch your first novel. It will help you find people who are interested in your work that will purchase your book, and also gets people to personally know you as an author. The first steps that I recommend is to build a social media image, meaning you need to put yourself on every social media you can find: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Start a Tumblr, start a blog, have a website, have a author page on Facebook. This is besides your regular page. But you want to do all those things. You want to be active on these social media accounts. So don't just make them and then never frequent them. It is important to post at least once a week or multiple times a week if you can manage. Second thing you should do is make a schedule based around your branding plan. So once you have your branding plan, you need to make a schedule to make sure you stay on point. Whatever your brand is, meaning you have a concept as well behind your brand. What kind of genres are you going to write in? Who will be your demographic? Are you writing young adult, new adult, adult? You really need to know where you're going. So this is definitely something that I would recommend to do before you release your first book. Not before you write your first book per se, but before you release your first book. That way you have a standing in social media market. People know a little bit who you are. I even recommend starting a Patreon possibly, or another type of media like that, so place where people can support your art. If you would like, you could do that through your website even. Maybe possibly get little teasers out there of your work. Try to be involved in your writing community. It's good to become a part of it so that way you're not a stranger to the business of writing. To realize that this is a business now. It is definitely a business. You have to do your own marketing, which you'd have to do whether you're traditionally published or not. But you have a lot more on your plate when you are not traditionally published, because you have to do every single aspect. This is what you do. This is what you want to do. You want to sit down. You want to think about your brand. You want to think about, you want to get yourself a social media following. You want to be everywhere you possibly can. And then before you do that even, you do need to have a logo and then banners and things like that. Those things you can make yourself, or you can hire someone to do if you don't have the skills to do it. Not everyone has the skills to make those things. So there are plenty of other authors and writers or businesses that do branding, such as logos and banners for you to use. Your writer logo, your banners for that. You should have pictures of yourself so that people can get to know you and see you. It does really help. It's definitely work. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of work involved, and this is just the beginning of branding, just the beginning of it. So you definitely want to think about that. It's very important, because you're gonna wish you had if you just write a book and you just bring it out and sit back and wait. That's not a plan. So you want to give your book the best possible chance of selling, and so forth in the future. Your books, I should say, unless you're a one-shot person and only want to write one book. But if you are building a brand to continue writing, you definitely want to do this before you jump out there. I know it's really awesome and cool to get your book out and for people to read it, but you should really think about this as a business, and that means you need to plan plenty of things. Alright, this is the first video in the branding as an author series. There won't be a lot in this series, but there's definitely more to talk about. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Alrighty, I will see you next week. Bye.